Yo, what's hood, what's good? No need to adjust your dial because you know what time it is. It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 8:10 on the West Coast where Nate is at, and you already know what this is on the Virtual Man Cave Entertainment. It's the MLB Rundown with the weekly rundown with Nate the Great. Yo, what's good, family?
What's going on? How's everything?
Man, ain't much, man. You know, it's beautiful Thursday out here. Life is good. Week's almost over. Made it past hump day. You know, we towards the end.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I've been shaking and baking, you know, like Ricky Bobby, ducking and dodging the bull crap. But what's good, man? How your week been, bro?
Week been alright, been pretty good. Glad it's almost over though. A lot.
I know that's right, man. I ain't gonna hold
Ready,
you.
ready for the weekend?
Where you got anything planned for the weekend, bro?
Nope. Right here at the house.
All right, little playing, little rest and relaxation, a little R&R.
Yeah, I got everything I needed. So I don't have to leave the house if I don't want to. Now the sun, if I look outside and the sun's looking real nice, I might take old girl, and when I say old girl, I'm talking about my car, and put her on the road for a little bit because I do be working from home has its privileges, not having to drive your car most of the time for like a whole week or so.
Hey, that's a good look. I wish I had that, man. You know, I drive two jobs, bro. So yeah, my weekends, if I could sit down and not have to drive anywhere or be the passenger in somebody's car, I'd gladly jump in that passenger seat, more than happily jump in the back seat. I don't even want to be shotgun. I don't even want to have to pay attention to help you be the co-pilot. Nope. Let me be the backseat person that just looks out the window and I'm chilling. That's it.
And see that's the opposite. Working from home, you want to get out the house because you've been in the house all day. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Nate, don't worry. If I ever pull up to Houston, I will let you do all the driving, my brother. Like, you good. I'm not even gonna be on some, you know what I'm saying? I need to drive, Nate. Nate, I respect the fact you work from home. You want to drive, you need to drive. Go ahead, my boy. You know what I mean? But it's been real interesting this weekend in baseball, yo.
Yeah, it's been a very exciting World Series so far. Through 5 games, we got some great games, of course. Highlighted by the 18 inning game that lasted 6 hours, almost 7 hours, that everyone
That's
was
cool.
talking about. You know, but I'll get more into that and why. About all the reasons why. I'll explain that later on about why it got to that far, how it got there. You know.
Okay. Well, we're gonna start off right now with our first video of the night, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because it wouldn't be right not to show a highlight video. We talking about the World Series here.
Right, so we're gonna recap the 5 games real quick with some of these
At the
videos.
ceremonial first pitch is a man who really needs no introduction. A member of the Blue Jays' level of excellence. He managed 12 years for this organization, leading his teams to 4 division titles, 2 AL pennants, and 2 World Series championships. Cito Gaston!
The legend.
Yes, indeed. Cito Gaston was there for their 2 champions, manager for their 2 championship runs, in '92 and '93, which brought Toronto their only championships in the franchise's history.
Okay. So, Nate, I do apologize because you did send the videos in order, in sequential order, and for some reason I loaded them up, but they're not showing right now. So I'm gonna get back to the videos that I do have posted right now. We can talk about that, and I would just have to go back and upload the previous videos because, like you did say, you did have the recap of the first 5 games of the World Series. I don't know why that video is not here right now. A little disappointed, but we will keep the show rocking and rolling for you people.
Yeah. So which videos do you have?
I got pretty much, it seems like all the other ones, but I don't know why that one's not here right now because I loaded it up in order for it to play.
Is that one video in order?
this year. Springer with a cue shot to first. Freeman has no play at second. Turns and throws to first. It's not in time. Throw to third. They got him. Well, the ball getting tossed all over the diamond. First, Freeman looks to second. Then he goes to first. And back across the diamond for a second. They're looking like a high-level Little League game.
That's a 3-1-5 right there. See, I know what that is.
So yeah, that's a.
No, I'm lying, y'all. I ain't.
That was a baseball blunder that happened, which is not the first. Is the first of a few more that you're going to see during these highlights throughout these five games that have been played so far.
Off Hernandez, grounds one towards the middle. Bichette with a backhand. Quick trigger throw to first. You'd never know. He's never played there in the big leagues.
That was such an outstanding play. You know he's got to be a little careful. And we talked about his knee. Running won't be the big issue. It's these kind of plays.
Okay. He had to stretch all the way out for that one.
Yeah, and what made that even more impressive for him is that Bichette had been just coming back off of an injury with his leg, so he was running gingerly throughout the he's been running gingerly throughout the series, but he's been toughing it out.
I mean, it's the World Series, kid. You're trying to get that ring. You don't feel no pain. Give me that cortisone shot in the knee, and I'm gonna make it happen.
Turned a bunch of them. That's up the middle and through. Base hit center field from Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez comes home. The Dodgers are on the board first. Kike Hernandez again getting the job done in the postseason.
Shout out to Kike.
That's Kike Hernandez driving in the run as Teoscar Hernandez. No relation scored.
Yep, that's Kike Hernandez. Good old Kike.
You want to say it one more time?
Kike Hernandez. Arikikiki.
See?
I'm saying, I mean, that's probably his nickname.
And here struggles. Barger sends a towering drive. Right center field. Kiss it goodbye.
He's going home.
That was Addison Barger. He broke the game open in game one with that grand slam home run. As the Blue Jays, they weren't finished yet. As far as hitting home runs that game as well.
That's crazy.
Varsho in the air to center field. Pages going back, turns, launches, and it's gone and tied. Dalton Varsho locks game one.
Okay, they wasn't playing right now, huh?
Game one, they came out swinging.
And right now, what is the current standing of the series right now, Nate?
It's 3-2.
3-2, Blue Jays. Toronto's up, and as of right now, you know, me and did say LA was gonna win. I thought they was gonna win like 5. What did I say? 5-1, right?
4-1. Yeah, get best of in 5.
Okay, so yeah, I was wrong. I was all the way wrong. And this is why it's Nate the Great, yo, because Nate did say Toronto was gonna pull this out, yo. Pause.
Wow. Here's a high drive off of the bat of Kirk, sailing back there to center. Does it have a nephew back?
That's something broke me, right?
For the Jays in game one. What a statement from Toronto.
Like I said, he's the perfect guy to talk about what the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's your man. That's your man who got a broke knee right now, right?
Nah.
I'm saying that wasn't the same dude who made that. That wasn't the shortstop dude who did
No, No, that's the catcher right there.
Oh, okay, that's the MVP dude, right?
No, Vlad is the MVP who plays first base.
Man, this is why
They're
you
all-
make it great. Because I thought the catcher dude was in the running for MVP.
Nah, you thinking of Seattle.
Okay, you right. This is why I got you here, Nate. This is why this is your show, bro. And all I do is upload videos and ask questions.
Curve gets him swinging. There it goes. It's a curve that falls in for strike. Strike 3 called on Bart. Down this time on the. A curve gets him to in their schedule. Fouled into the glove, strike 3. Strikes out Springer with a fast to Lucas. His fastball and ease to get him look.
Yeah, they gonna have to check him for steroids or something. Like some was just striking everybody out.
That was Yamamoto in game 2 as he came out and got the Dodgers back on track for game 2.
Wait, say his name again. Nah, for real. How you say his name?
Yoshi?
Yoshi?
It's actually Yoshinobu. Nobu.
Oh
But
yeah,
they just say for sure they say Yoshi, like Mario.
Yeah, we call him Yoshi. I'm glad they said that because I ain't gonna front. All I heard was Yoshi. I didn't hear nothing else you said after that. I couldn't. Yep, Yoshi. That was all right.
And the last name is Yamamoto.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call him Yoshi.
Left it there, hit in the air to right field. Back it goes. It is gone. Yeah.
Wait, so he was really looking at that like he was
Shohei
gonna catch it.
Ohtani left it over the plate, and Ohtani didn't miss. Just can't do that to a great hitter.
Yeah, don't they know they can't pitch to him like that, bro?
That's the fastest run around the bases I've ever seen. Right on the heels of Tommy Edman.
Well, being that they were up at the time 11-2, they decided to pitch to him with a runner on.
That's
so it
crazy.
made the score 11-4.
You never want to do that to a hitter because that's all they need. All they need is just one.
The 3-2. High drive deep to left field. It's Smith with a big swing into the second deck.
Sheesh. He got all of it.
Yeah, and that was Will Smith, the catcher for the Dodgers.
No relation to the actor?
No, it's not. I know that's where he was going with it. It's actually another Will Smith in the league as well that played for the Braves.
You ain't know that name.
Yes, sir.
Nah, you probably
Fastball lifted in the air, deep left field. Lucas going back, opposite field bomb. Max.
Oh, they were swinging, huh?
Yeah, game 2 they had to try to come back and they didn't want to go down 0-2. You don't want to leave. You want to at least as a road team at least get one win, especially when you got three games at home.
El Novo.
OG been eating good since he retired.
Nomo-san, the mound is yours. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto out to do the catching.
That's dope. Now, let me ask you this, Nate.
Still got it. What a pitch. Thank you, Hideo, for joining.
When they throw the honorary first pitch of the game, right? How come they always throw it from in front? Is it because they don't want to mess up the integrity of the mound or anything like that for the pitcher? Or is it because they really don't want the person to strain their arm or anything like that?
I think that's a little bit of both. The mound is for the pitcher itself. These guys aren't pitching anymore. They retired from the league. Probably out of respect for the guys who are, getting ready to go on the mound. You don't want it. They already got it set a certain way. You're not trying to throw 97 miles an hour for an opening day pitch. You're just trying to make it go over the middle.
Nah, son, I'm trying to throw 100, baby. I'm trying to kill it. I'm trying to do the whatchamacallit, Randy Johnson, baby. I want a pigeon to fly by.
So instead you're gonna end up being like that guy who missed the entire catcher and hit a guy in his lower regions that was way in the back watching just watching as a spectator.
Nah, bro, because I got target. I got aim. I got precision. I wear glasses. I can see.
Or you be like your fellow Queens native 50 Cent when he went out there. I know you saw that.
Yo, we not gonna talk no blasphemy about Queens, bro.
First,
We're gonna watch this highlight.
Everybody's confused. Varsho's still in his spot. The shot's wandered off of the base, and he's out. He thought it was ball 4. I think we all thought it was ball 4.
You need to replay that, Jake.
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
First, oh boy. Everybody's confused. Varsho's still in his spot. The shot's wandered off of the base, and he's out. He thought it was ball 4. I think we all thought it. First, oh boy. Everybody's confused. Varsho's still in his spot. The shot.
Still trying to figure it out.
First, oh boy. Everybody's confused. Varsho's still.
So let me give you a little perspective before you play it again. The count was 3 balls and 1 strike.
First, oh.
Damn, I'm trying to catch it right in the beginning, but I can't. But it's all right though, because that was crazy, bro. Like it was up here. It was by his collarbone. It was between the collarbone and the neck bone. It was right here. How in the world did he call that a strike?
So I'm gonna say, you know how catchers, especially they try to place it. So even if it's up here, they try to bring it down. But I'm gonna say one thing. That umpire, who I think also umpired Game 5, if anybody out there's ever seen The Naked Gun with Leslie Nielsen, the great Leslie Nielsen, the game where he was umpiring, that was pretty much what he was doing. He was channeling his best Leslie Nielsen.
Wow, it was like that.
Yeah, and the thing about it was he was equal with it. He gave it to both teams. And to explain that, there was 3 balls and 1 strike. Now they thought it was a ball because it was high. So he was leading off to first, going to first. Teammate was at first, thinking going to second. But the umpire did actually call a strike. You could hear it, but he actually called a strike. And so therefore, the pitcher, when he got the ball back, he threw it to first, and that's how they picked him off at first base.
That's crazy. That's wild, Joe.
Hernandez drills one, left field, forget about it. Dodgers strike first in a loud way.
Hold up, I didn't even see that. I gotta see that again.
Hernandez drills one, left field, forget about it. Dodgers strike first in a loud way.
Let me ask you a question, Nate. Why people be getting mad at the bat flick? You know what I mean? Like, why they be in their feelings?
It depends on who. I think that's more of the old guard about the bat flip. It's only considered
Native thought your roof was missing. You're right. I don't know nothing. If it ain't about the Mets, I don't know nothing, bro. I play it again. Why not? Shout out to Illmatic, yo. We appreciate you tapped in, yo.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Real quick, for y'all, for those who don't know, that's the chef right there. You know what I mean? He probably at work chefing it up right now. You know what I mean? So we appreciate you tapped in, tuned in. And for those who don't know, you can catch the chef, myself, Nate the Great, Superhero Leo. You know what I mean? Well, Ozempic L. You know what I'm saying? Superhero Leo, as they call him. You know what I mean? You got Triple OG, D Rigger, aka Unc. You got the, you know what I'm saying, the Panamanian Professor, Arthur Sobers, and we do our podcast every Saturday night about 10:30, 11-ish. You know what I mean? And then we do that, yo.
And don't forget special guest appearances by the mayor, Corey himself.
Oh, but of course, my bad. I forgot about the mayor. I wrote that a long time ago. I'm at home. Well, my bad was just, see, listen. Trey, I got Leo's not here right now, so I gotta run everything, check the comments, run the videos. So, you know, I be a little bit slow on productions when I got to do everything, yo. My bad, player. But at least I still put it out there, though. See, we out there. We got views. People out here checking on us. We on somebody's TV screen. You know what I mean? We're right here with the next video.
Comes back in. It's lifted to deep right field. Towards the corner. Goodbye. Ohtani goes deep.
What are they going to learn? Don't pitch to that boy.
Well, you got to look at who was pitching against them. That was Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer is one of them old-fashioned pitchers who he's going to get. He's not going to walk him. He's going to go at him one-on-one. He's a warrior.
I ain't saying you got to walk him. Just hit him in his pinky toe, yo.
We ain't trying to hurt nobody out here.
I ain't say hurt him. I said hit him in the pinky toe. You ain't going to get pinky toe. Ain't going to hurt you in the front of the foot. You ain't got to throw it fast or hard. Just pop him in the foot a little bit. He good. He good. You know what I'm saying? He not soft. I mean, that facial expression makes you look like I'm wrong, Nate.
There goes Hernandez. There's a ground ball to short. Long throw. Hernandez not going to get there. Throw to third. Bang, bang, he's out. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Ball player. Can I just say wow on everything that just happened right there? A lot. You know how hard of a play that was to make? Jimenez to Guerrero across the diamond.
That was real and small play for the pitcher to get out the way, because if he was standing in the way, he'd have got clipped.
Yeah, a good heads up by Vlad Guerrero, knowing that they weren't going to get the runner at first, so he cuts the play off. You know, catches the runner, try to be aggressive. And again, there's more plays like that that's going to happen on both ends.
I'm saying no, like Troy, you can't even front though. They professional players. They aim is crazy. Listen, I know what I be talking about sometimes, every once in a while. Not all the time, but sometimes. But right now, I ain't going front. I haven't been paying attention at all to the World Series whatsoever, because there's no New York team in there. If the Yankees was playing, I'd definitely be paying attention.
Down the line, towards the corner. It's a fair ball. Schneider on his horse. Hernandez picks it up. Schneider's headed home. Relay from Edman. Play at the plate. He's out. Blue Sky tie.
I'm not going front though. I was kind of thinking Brody did get kind of greedy though. That was an easy triple.
Yeah, that was, and unfortunately, that's game 3. Blue Jays were a little greedy throughout the game.
Exactly. No NY teams. What World Series, yo?
Hey, you got to blame the NY teams for being garbage. I said it.
Hey, yo. That's mad foul, son. Like, even as a official, unofficial Yankee hater, but you know, low key supporter, because I want New York to win as long as they stay in their division and win. Yo, how can you just hate on the NY teams like that, Nate? I'm thoroughly disgusted.
If it's true, it's true though, right?
See what happens when you move to the West Coast?
No.
Yeah.
You name one Jets fan out there right now that's just loyal, like, yeah, we gonna turn it around. We're gonna turn it around.
Yo, I ain't gonna front. There are mad, dysfunctional, delusional Jet fans who are still Jet fans and they love their team. But I can't believe you talk bad about the Yankees. But yo, right here, check out this 3-4-5 play though, son. This is something amazing. See,
3-2. Marshall pulls it off, Freeman's glove, and down the line. Kind of put off the heads for third.
You're gonna see the 4
This is such a great play by Edman. Now, kind of
right now, 3-4-5.
He's anticipating that ball got by Edman. And when Edman got the ball, he immediately threw to third. And that slide gets up an incredible defensive.
Please explain 3-4-5, because I didn't see no 3-4-5, and I don't know. I mean, I saw a dope play, but how was it a 3-4-5?
Off the first baseman, second
Okay.
baseman.
That's the 3. So wait, the first baseman is the 3.
Yeah, second baseman is the 4. Third baseman
Got
is
you.
the 5.
Say less.
Yeah.
Say less. Okay. They was cooking. Now, Nate, I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or if it's your connection, but you frozen right now, my brother.
I'm frozen. It got to be you, Jay, because you the one that's not moving on your end. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the technical difficulties that we have going right now.
Okay. Now, what were you saying, Nate?
I apologize to the people out there for the technical difficulties because you weren't the one that was moving, Jay.
Oh,
That
I was frozen.
Yeah, that video came in at the end.
Oh, wow. Well, I apologize on my behalf. It is raining where I'm at right now and stuff. We've been having a little bit of wicked weather. We just want to say real fast, shout out to the people on the island of Jamaica. You know, we know Hurricane Melissa ran through Jamaica, and I know there was some structural damage and whatnot. I don't know the capacity of what it was. I'm just grateful to understand that it was a Category 5, and by the time it reached landfall, it decreased to Category 3. So if there's a blessing in anything, at least it downgraded 2 categories. So I know it caused a lot of horrific damage and destruction on the island, but if there's a saving grace, it was a 3 instead of a 5. So I know Jamaicans out there, they strong, they tough, they got the top shotters, and they do what they do, you know. So shout out to them. I know they're going to rebuild. It's going to be stronger and better because they're resilient. They're a resilient group of people, and their culture is built on being tough. You know what I mean? So they're just going to show how tough they are, and many blessings, Joe.
Yeah, definitely.
It wouldn't be right if we wouldn't give a shout out to them because, you know, that's what we do. We might be silly, we might joke around, but we do care about global affairs.
Left center, Will Smith. Oh, short. Set it in the same
Yeah, that was mad
direction
disrespectful how
of
he
Max
caught that
Muncy's
thing.
18th inning.
Yeah, he caught that like you really thought you did something. Look. Come on, man. It's a regular day at the park. This little league, bro.
Of Max Muncy's 18th
Yo, look at the walk-off,
walk-off in
man.
2018. But it dies with the temperature dropping.
Yeah, yo, that's all you could do is run with your head down, player.
And that was the emotion everybody was going through. You see how the crowd got up for it because they finally thought the game was over because this was part of that 18-inning game.
Oh, that was part of the 18-inning game?
So they thought, and the Dodgers had a few times, which I'm gonna talk about more about when you thought that they were gonna walk it off, but no, they hit it to the warning track, but it was caught and like another inning to go.
Yeah, he needed about another inch or two. But the way he caught it though was mad disrespectful though. Like he caught it like psych your mind play. You thought you was doing something.
In Los Angeles. Freeman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the clock strikes midnight. Freddie Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
This goes hurt. Yo, why they always do that? Why they always find a person who got the saddest face and put him on camera? They mad disrespectful for that.
That's the cameraman's job, to add to the theatrics of it.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand that back in the day, but now since we live in this like media era and every people be posting stuff, he's gonna be immortalized as looking mad pitiful after that game.
Earl Hershiser. Oral, once again, the mound is yours. And Clayton Kershaw out to do the catching.
88, baby. 88 was a good year.
Attaboy. Thanks, Bulldog, for being with us tonight.
Bulldog
Thanks for being a great...
plate, yo. Went from a bulldog to a chihuahua.
Bulldog, 67 years old, man.
I mean, but he's okay.
What?
67. All right, 6'7".
He played 11 years. You know how many years he played? Played in the league?
6'7". My bad. I work with kids. I hear that all day.
Yeah, I mean, I hear from my niece and nephews all the time too. You talking about a man who played 17 years in the league? You know, he played. Excuse me. He played 11 of those years with the Dodgers. Finished his career out with the Dodgers actually in 2000. The year before that, he was playing for your beloved Mets at 99.
Oh, he a Met?
Yeah, for 1 year he was.
It don't matter. 1 year, 1 minute, 1 second. If you sign a contract and you put on the pinstripes, you's a Met. He ain't no Dodger. He a Met. Shut. My bad, OG. I didn't know you was a Met. My bad. Take that back. I take all that back. Run it back. Well, you ain't tell me he was a Met, Nate. Nate, you got to lead off with that, okay? You can't.
He played 13 full years. I mean, total years with the Dodgers. What do you mean?
Listen, you said he played 1 year with the Mets, right?
Right, 99.
You should have said he was a Met. That's all you had to say. I don't care if he played 13 million years with the Dodgers. He played 1 year with the Mets. He's a Met.
Okay, Jay.
This guy.
It out of the strike zone. Popped up down the left field line. Kike Hernandez is in, and the Samuel makes the catch. Wow!
Okay.
Fresh off of last night's craziness, it's a highlight defensive play to start game 4.
That was dope right there. I ain't going front.
Like you said, for that to be the first play of the game after the 18-inning game, you know, that was the first play of the game from the first batter.
Oh, so they came out swinging, prepared. Man, I know they was tired after that game.
Oh, definitely.
Ground ball left side. That's Benson at 6-1. A 4 spot for the Jays in the 7th.
Easy out turned into an RBI. Now, would that be considered an error?
Yeah, if it hits the glove or anything like that, that's an error. If it doesn't hit the player's glove or their arm or the part of their body, it's just considered a hit.
Okay, so let's just say in that instance, if it didn't hit the player's glove, but he dove for it, but it went right past him,
It's
not
a hit.
an error. It's a hit.
No, it's a hit. Yeah.
See, y'all, this is why he's MLB.
Comes off and going game 5 with a fastball that's hit in the air to deep left field. Call to the track. It's on the first pitch of game.
I don't know why he tried. He knew it was going. He did it for theatrics.
And that was the first pitch of game 5.
Yeah, they just be taking off on the first when they tee off, yo. They treat it like golf. I'm trying to send this 300, 400 first shot.
18th in Yamamoto. There's a fly ball to deep left center field. Headed back there. It is gone. Vlad Jr. gives the Jays.
So let me guess. Vlad Jr., he's a power hitter, right?
Right.
Yeah, because he don't look like he can run fast.
No, he got. I mean, he ain't Ellie De La Cruz fast, but he got a little something.
Let me rephrase that. He's fast compared to the regular human because he's a professional baseball player, but he don't look baseball fast. Is what I'm trying to say.
He ain't Trey Turner, nothing like that. Like your man, Trey Turner, the one who having a smooth slide at home, slide. He ain't like him.
he gonna beat me. He'll beat me in a foot race. You know what I'm saying? But
and that was still the first inning, the back-to-back home runs. Vlad followed that home run right behind his teammate with the first home run.
Yeah, are they doing drug tests after the game? Because if you hitting back to back, there's something in your water.
Here's a high drive. Forget about it. Kike Hernandez finds the seat. First of the World Series for Kike Hernandez.
That boy Kike is serious.
Definitely one of the bright spots for the Dodgers.
Kike, let's go Kike.
2. A shot to right field. That is a diving catch from Barger. Addison Barger. It's not just been the bat from him. He's been awesome defensively as well. Yeah, this one's trying to dive.
Yeah, his teeth was kind of loose after that. He saw stars for a couple seconds. He went full face planting. He knew he was about to hit his face because you seen him tighten up before he hit the ground.
You got to. I mean, you got to brace for that fall.
Yeah. I know his teeth is loose. I'm glad he got good coverage.
Wow. Another scorcher off the bat of Otani. He was on a splitter, and it's down to first for Vlad Jr.
Yeah, why he slapped first base like that?
You're glad to get that out, man. You got one of the top hitters in the team out.
Chopper to third, Clement to second, over to first, double play! A World Series masterpiece from 22-year-old Trey Yesavage. Chopper to third, Clement to second, over to first, double play! A World Series masterpiece from 20.
That would end up being your Savage last inning pitching. And he pitched a great game, stepping up in that pressure situation as a rookie.
That was textbook.
Yeah,
like from the pitch to the fielding, like everything was textbook, a textbook play, yo.
So what was that, Jay? What do we call that?
What you mean?
What's
so that
number?
was. Oh, hold on, come on! Why you gonna do me like that, son? So third base is 5, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Third base is 5. So that was a
Right.
5. That was a 5-4-3.
Yep.
Come on, son. Stop playing with me. Put some respect on Model Citizen J name. That was a 5-4-3, son. 553rd Street, player. That's what you see me. Told you. All it took was all season. It took all season for me to get one. And I'm proud, man. Where's Arthur at when you need him? Dang. I mean, I'm glad we show, so I'm saying it is documented.
I just wanted to see if he was paying attention.
8th pitch to his boy is swung on and missed. Looks like. And he's used it. Storage unit. Swing really good so far. He strikes out Muncy. 2 to Otani. Yeah, swung on and there it is. That is 8. A high clip in the postseason. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Ball chases what would have been ball 4. Do things you normally don't. A swing and a miss. 1-2 to Freeman. There's a dozen for Trey Savage. Well, what this shows me is.
Yeah, he got Vaseline on his hat or something. They
You
need
did the movie Major League.
Yeah, he got Vaseline. They better check his right shoulder for steroids. They put steroids just in the right shoulder.
The comments and views of those on the show, of Jay or myself, do not reflect the entire group. They reflect just the individual themselves. No, any implications or accusations that someone is taking any kind of performance enhancing is the opinions of that person and that person only.
And as we just stated earlier, I know nothing about baseball, so I'm just playing, joking around. I seriously doubt that any player is using performance-enhancing substances, and if they were, I don't know enough about baseball to even say if they are. So my opinion ain't worth too much of nothing unless it's about the Mets. And Nate, what kind of fan am I when it comes to the Mets?
A delusional fan.
So again, you might not want to take my opinion on that because I'm just a diehard Mets fan and they can't do nothing wrong. Even when they do something wrong, I'll still find a way to cheer for them. Okay. So again, Nate is right. We speak for ourselves, but when I say something about something like that, I'm just joking around, yo.
And the Blue Jays are headed home, one win from a championship. And it was a child who led them tonight. 22-year-old Shreyas Savage. 12 strikeouts. Only the 12th time in World Series history somebody's done that.
Wow.
All right, that wraps up the World Series so far in the 5 games. Thank you for everyone to watch. I know that's a lot of videos. We're gonna find another way eventually to put the videos together in a better format. But that's just a recap of it, and it's so far an exciting series that has lived up to the expectations. A lot of people in the World Series were thinking Dodgers in 4, Dodgers in 5. Toronto didn't have a chance. They got lucky against Seattle. They beat the Seattle team, but the Toronto Blue Jays, of course the Dodgers have a awesome, phenomenal team. They have a team. I mean, there's nobody on that team you can pitch against really that won't defeat you. Near the end. I was gonna get to that, Jay. Jumping ahead.
My bad.
You can leave it up there though. You can leave it up there.
Okay.
You can definitely leave it up there. Because what Jay is posting up there right now is just the numbers of Game 3, which was the 18-inning game, which had 11.4 million viewers that tuned in across all of the networks that were streaming the service, mainly Fox Deportes, and Fox Sports. In that on that show, Fox by itself, and we don't work for Fox. I'm just stating what says on 11.1 million tuned in for Game 3, making it the second most watched World Series since 2022 between the Astros and the Phillies, which was 11.162. Game 3 peaked at 13.1 million between 11:30 and 11:45 p.m. on Eastern Time. And it's the most watched Monday primetime telecast since last year's World Series Game 3. And as far as this, it was the most streamed World Series Game 3 in history of the that program of Fox, which is 365,136. And through the Game 3, the World Series presented is the second best 3-game average, as they were saying over this last week. Now, as far as the World Series is concerned overall, like I said, it's been a great series. The Dodgers with the team, they're like the Goliath. It's like David versus Goliath. If you look at it in this situation, the Blue Jays had a 6-1 chance of even making the World Series here. Nobody even had them in the conversation. Everybody, for the most part, it was LA versus New York in a repeat. Or other people were looking at other teams, like as the season went on, looking at the Phillies in the National League. You had, the Mets were considered contenders because with the Juan Soto addition, you had, and the Yankees were looking to repeat back. The Red Sox were looking pretty good. To see the Blue Jays tough it out, beat the top team, get the number 1 seed, and hold on to that 1 seed into the playoffs. The takeaways I say from it is like Game 1. They did the one thing that I said that we were talking about last week on the show, is they had to get to that bullpen. Now, because LA starters from all of the pennant series against Milwaukee, they were going all 9 innings, 8 innings, couldn't do nothing about it. Nobody could get a hit off of them. But the Blue Jays attacked them early. They got them out of the game by the 5th inning, 6th inning, got into that bullpen, got them arms working, and they took advantage of that. Yesevich has been great. He was great in Game 1. He was great in Game 2. Like I said, the Dodgers, weren't expect they were expecting a challenge from them, but like I said, in game one they came out hot. Then in game two, Dodgers bounced back with Yamamoto having a great performance in game two. He got the Dodgers back, and the Dodgers kept Toronto off the bases during that game. Yep. He had his curve. He was working his curveball and his splitter throughout that game, not throwing 9 innings and 8 strikeouts for that game. And of course, game 3, the game that everybody talked about, Tyler Glasnow and Max Scherzer started that off. Ohtani led off with a home run off with a 2-run home run off of. Ohtani started off with a homer. Actually, Teoscar Hernandez started off the home run, then followed by Ohtani home run off of Max Scherzer. Toronto, actually, when you look at this series could have technically been over because in game 3, Toronto made a lot of base running errors, as you've seen in the highlights, that made the difference between them going up and taking the lead and losing that game because the Blue Jays were overly aggressive. And it's a time and place. Sometimes you appreciate the aggressiveness, trying to make those defenders make a play. But I think in those situations, you had to have a situation where you had to say, hey, let's play station to station, which is base to base. Or like the one play when you seen the throw out at home, should have left him at third base.
Yeah,
kind of for Leffert trying to advance to third. He should have stayed at second. Because you got to see Tommy Edman made a great play backing up Freddie Freeman at first on that. But you got to just pay attention. Teoscar Hernandez making a great throw. Toronto, everybody thought they were dead in the water too because they lost George Springer as he was hit by a pitch. But they rallied back in game 4, came out the gate as well. They came out the gate swinging. Ohtani, even with Ohtani up at the bat, he pitched a great game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. started it off with a 2-run home run off of Ohtani in the top of the 3rd. Shane Bieber went 5 in the 3rd innings during that time. Which might be his last game as a Blue Jay this year. They did pick him up from a trade from Cleveland. He gave it everything he had. He was coming off of Tommy John surgery. Bieber went 5 in the 3rd. Won only 3 strikeouts and 3 walks. Now he's not known as a strikeout pitcher, but he was putting the ball in play and keeping the ball inside the ballpark. Ohtani played great as well. He went 6 innings with 6 strikeouts, giving up 2 earned runs with 6 hits and a walk. And then when they got to game 5, in the game 4, Blue Jays started doing the small things, which win in baseball games. Andres Jimenez with a small single, which knocked in the run. Then you had Bichette hitting the single that brought in the run as well, and they got the lead and they held on to that lead. And then in game 5, Blue Jays came out the gate, as you see, David Schneider and Vladimir Guerrero going back-to-back for home runs in the 1st inning. Varsho hit a crucial triple. They got a run in the 4th. Snell still pitched. He still pitched really solid. Going into the 7th inning, he pitched 6 in the 2/3. He was taken out with 2 outs. Bases were loaded. There's 3 wild pitches thrown in that 7th inning that really ultimately doomed the Dodgers as well. Dodgers bullpen came in and held it in. Yasevich again pitched great 7 innings, 12 strikeouts with 1 earned run and 3 hits over that time, and that was great for a rookie to pitch that game. That was a record for a rookie in the World Series. The other thing I'll say about it is the Blue Jays just really like I said, they buckled down because that game 3 loss in the 18 innings was one of those games where it's like most teams don't come back after that. They get shooken up. You lose a game that heartbreaking. 18 innings, almost 7 hours. Right before midnight on Pacific time over there at Los Angeles was when the home run was hit. It was 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, 2 o'clock my time. A lot of people were, of course, I heard some people complained about it, which it didn't make any sense. It's baseball. And I laughed because some people were complaining, saying, they needed to go to sleep. They had work in the morning. Did nobody tell you to stay up? You could have went to sleep. You could have went to sleep. I didn't go to sleep. I stayed up. But
I know you stayed up. You was a true fan.
Oh, I was up for the entire thing. Y'all saw me posting in the group chat late at night. And to answer that question about that, Jay, because they were saying, so in baseball during the regular season, there was always complaints about the games being too long. So the fact is, extra innings, you have to wait till somebody scores and takes the lead. Either the home team walks it off, or the road team takes the lead and then gets the road team out in the bottom half. Baseball changed that rule a few years ago now, where it's a runner starts off at second base after the 9th inning. In the 10th inning and further on, a runner starts on second. But Major League Baseball made the decision going forward that in the playoffs, it would go back to the original format, regular, where nobody's on base, and you have to you have to score that way the old-fashioned way. Go all the way from post to post. Some people complained about it, but a lot of people were complaining too that if you put runners on second base, that's almost softballish kind of baseball, little league, where you're trying to get the game over with. And as you see in Game 4 the next night, when it went 9 innings, the game lasted under 3 hours, 2 hours and 47 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
How long?
2 hours and 47 minutes. Compared to the 6 out to almost 7 hours the night before.
They was playing baseball. They earning a paycheck.
But I look at the fans. Nobody left. Why? You know why? Because I'm thinking the price they paid for those tickets for that World Series, which I didn't check to see how much it was this year, but I know they paid a pretty penny for the World Series tickets. So you're like, hey, I paid my money. I'm staying till this game is over.
Listen, I don't care if I gotta go to work the next day. I'm sitting in them seats. This is the World Series. This is going down as history. Just like when me and my son, we went to the Mets game, and we was at the game where they pitched the first and only the no-hitter that happened, the first one in history.
Uh-huh.
So we at the game, right? And Nate, I'm sitting there and I'm bored. I swear, I'm bored out of my mind. I'm like, yo, Dre, we about to bounce here. We about to get up out of here. He like, yo, Dad, it's just 3 more outs. And I'm like, Dre, we can leave now. He's like, no, Dad, look at the scoreboard. It's just 3 more outs. And the whole time I'm watching the game, like the game is like really quiet. And I'm like, God, this game is boring. But I'm watching it, but I'm not realizing what I'm witnessing. But I'm watching the game, and the stadium is on some hush. Like, we cheering every time he strikes somebody out, but I'm not realizing until I looked at the scoreboard and I saw all zeros. And then it hit me. And then I turned to my son, hyped as hell. Dre, 3 more outs, Dre, 3 more outs. He's like, he's looking at me like, really?
He's like, where you been? He's like, where you been this whole time?
And I'm talking about I was just watching the whole game, eating my popcorn, drinking my Mountain Dew. Like, man, this is boring. Like, I'm glad we not letting them win, and what I'm saying, we whooping them, we winning, but this game is dragging. So yeah, that I understand how them people felt, because I was at a regular season game. So if I'm at the World Series, I'm sitting tight.
Right. So just to give you an idea, the cheapest tickets originally was going for $340 to $500, but then they apparently ranged went up from between $700 to $900. Now, if you wanted front row seats, right down there in the thick of the action, right behind the home plate and everything, tickets were ranging from $15,000 to $20,000.
That's crazy.
And if you note now during the game, for I know most people that may not have watched it I was playing for the World Series. Most of the people that I saw front row, besides this one guy who he's always at every big important game, every baseball wise, he's at every World Series, no matter what team is playing. Or he was at the Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees, Blue Jays, Mariners. He's been at this World Series. He's been at the Dodgers and Brewers. He always wears a Marlins jersey, a bright orange Marlins jersey. And he's always at the games. And I think somebody finally noticed, and I forgot what kind of work he does, but he pretty much works from his phone. And he travels, and he's always at the games. But to say he was there, Jason Bateman, Magic Johnson, of course, and Cookie was there. You had a lot of the major LA stars that was there at the games. Anyway, the Who's a Who was there. Sydney Sweeney, the actress, she was there at the games. So those people who can afford those tickets, the average everyday person, I don't know. You might get one game. If you got 3, you took something out of your savings or your 401k maybe.
Now, I will say I had the privilege of sitting behind home plate at one game at one stadium. I mean, it's not my favorite team, but It was at Yankee Stadium. I sat right behind home plate, and that's when Derek Jeter and what's the name, A-Rod, That's when they was on the team, and I had the privilege, honestly, to sit that close, and that's a different experience. I'm not gonna front. I'm glad I was able to have that experience. Shout out to my sister because she took me to the game, and whatnot. So just being able to sit and you're like your ticket's different. It was like a big old ticket, and it says like legends seats and something like that.
Yeah.
Like it was dope. And when I say I was sitting right behind home plate, I literally mean I was dead center, like right behind home plate, right behind the umpire and stuff. Like I had to lean this way because I'm like, yo, if the umpire fart, I'm gonna smell it. Yo, let me lean to the side real fast, yo. I don't want to smell his fart, yo. And it was a dope experience. I'm not even going to front, and not just the game, just how they treat you from, me being a young kid growing up in New York City. Only time I got, when I went to baseball games, we up there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had some good seats a few times, but never behind home plate. And the experience from sitting behind home plate, from sitting upper deck, it's crazy. You sit up, like literally in the section that we were sitting in, all the food was free.
Yeah, and it's a great experience. Sporting events can be expensive at times, but it's also a great experience, especially the things that go on in between the game that you don't always see aired on TV. They try to have things to keep the people invested into it. I'll say I haven't had behind home plate, but I've had I was more like I like to be right behind the dugouts, right. So when I see the players coming out of the dugout, so I've gotten to be on the third base line and the first base. Now I got to see those kind of experience that when I got older and I was living in the DMV. So going to the Washington National games, Yankee games, I went when I was a kid with my mom. Whatever. My mom did her best. We sat in the bleachers, but I won't lie. The bleachers were some of the fun times. Now, I mean, I heard a lot of language that my mom really want me to hear at the time, but it was fun.
I will say this: every time I went to go buy tickets, like for my son, like for me and my son when we were going to to the Mets games, and I would ask him like where you want to sit. He would always like to sit high up, because he was like, "Yo, Dad, I can see the whole game." I'm like, "You don't want to sit closer?" Like, I make money, kid. Like, I got a couple $dollars in my pocket. Like, we get some good seats. I can spend a little bit more on these tickets. He's like, "Nah, Dad, I can see high up. I like seeing the whole field and stuff like that." And I was like, "Yo, it's your world, baby. Whatever you want to do, baby boy, it's for you."
You can see how the defense is positioned, and you can see all of that. I do sometimes
rotations and how they shift and whatnot.
Yeah, and in other sports too, I do the same. I try to, and that's something that try to get out of that mentality. That's something we can even carry into our main show. But it's like, when you go to events and you sit close and whatever, people think that you spent a lot of money. And the truth be told, I went to go see the Pistons play, the Detroit Pistons. Back in 2014 in the Palace before they were going to shut the Palace down, and I was maybe between 3 to 5 rows behind the team bench. But at the time, 2014, the Pistons weren't any good, and you got the tickets for really cheap for 4 people, and I had a blast, and it was great to sit that close and be able to engage. You got to call the players' names, and they turned around and they wait. They gave a signal or whatever. And it's just like. When you start working, especially when you're working, you're like, man, look, ain't nothing against the nosebleeds because I used to sit there back in the days, but I had no choice back then. But
that
now
experience is wonderful.
I want to experience it a little bit different now. I don't mind sitting close. I work hard, so I should be able to enjoy it a little bit. So I want people to think that way, like enjoy yourself. This life only comes once. If you do something like it, you're not doing it to impress nobody. You're doing it for yourself just because it's what you want to do and enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
don't worry about impressing nobody.
This ain't no dress rehearsal, yo.
Right.
Just like another experience I had, a young lady, I was dating a young lady and her mother worked for Sports Illustrated. And, we got the skybox seats in the Garden. Man, listen, that's a different experience, bro. You know what I mean? Again, free food in there. And again, going to the Garden, I've had my fair share of sitting in, good seats and, nosebleeds and stuff. But I've always had to pay for food no matter where I sat in the Garden. And that food in the Garden is not cheap. It's kind of pricey.
Oh, of course.
So the fact that I was sitting in the skybox and the lady opened up the pan And she was like, yeah, all of that, Charles. And it was like burgers, chicken fingers, French fries, sodas, and all that good stuff. Nate, I swear to God. I mean, let me rephrase that. I don't want to offend nobody. That's on everything I love, right? I was pointing out different people in the section. Like, you see that little kid over there? I know his parents had to pay mad bread for the chicken fingers. I'm about to eat 8 chicken fingers for him right now. You know what? You see that person over there? I know they paid mad bread for that cheeseburger. I'm gonna eat a cheeseburger over there just for them, yo. Listen, I was eating good. I was eating real.
Moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is if Jay can eat for free, you good with him.
Yo, listen, if you take me somewhere and there's food involved and I don't have to pay for it, even better. But if there's food involved, I'll pay for both of us. It don't matter because I like to eat. I may not look like I eat a lot, but trust me, I eat a lot. I enjoy eating. Eating is one of my happy places. I don't know how we got here on the MLB podcast, but hey, this is where we at right now.
We went about to so yeah, so I was going to just go back and bring back that clip. That's for later. Wait, what's the next clip? Yeah, save.
Oh, now what's the clip?
Yeah, you leave it there because that's what I'm coming. That's what I'm going up to next. But coming up, if anybody who you may not have nothing, you may not have nothing going on tomorrow for Halloween. Maybe you take your kids trick or treat, or maybe you don't have any kids, and you're going to be home. World Series, Game 6 tomorrow, 8:00 Eastern time on Fox Channel 5, whatever Fox is in your location or your geographic area. Blue Jays and Dodgers. For Game 6 of the World Series, if the Blue Jays win, it will be their first World Series title since 1993, which is 32 years. The Dodgers win, they'll force a Game 7, which will be Saturday. The Dodgers also are the first team since the 2008-2009 Phillies to go to return to win the championship and then return back to defend their title the following year. Now whether their story will change different from the Phillies. The Phillies won it in 2008 against Tampa Bay, lost in 2009 to the New York Yankees. We'll see if the Dodgers can avoid that happening to them as well. Also, shout out to our producers, Jay and Leo. If you didn't notice, small things, but the banner looks a lot different, don't you see? You don't see the red anymore. If you didn't notice that.
What happened?
Just letting the people know, you see the banner change, just little stuff. Remember the banner was all bright and red, you can see it, the banner is black.
Yeah, we switch up a little bit. We do a little thing. Sorry, I got a little distracted. I got a message on my phone that I had to attend to real fast. My bad, y'all. Let me see. And then we got this.
Now we're gonna go with the news. Not much news going on, just a couple small things, small announcements that's happening, a couple managerial signings along with some contract deals for our women's softball league, starting off with the manager signings. We've got Blake Butera, who is now the new Washington Nationals head coach. I'm sorry, not head coach, manager. They don't say head coach in baseball, but he coached the Charleston River single A minor league team, which is based out of Charleston, South Carolina. They're the affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays. Blake Butera is 42 years old from Meltare. I'm sorry, he's 33 years old, which makes him the youngest manager in baseball right now, from Metairie, Louisiana. I might have pronounced that city wrong. Overall in the 2 seasons that he's managed Charleston River Dogs, he went 170 and 82. We're going to see how it's an interesting move for the Nationals. We're going to see how that goes as he has these young players that he's going to be coaching, from Mackenzie Gore, Jake Irvin, Keeper Ruiz, CJ Abrams, James Wood, and Dylan Cruz, and the rest of that Washington Nationals team. So we'll see if the Nationals can start to make the turn and get back to prominence. The last time they won the World Series was in 2019, then the team completely went down. Next signing was also that was up there was I'm just gonna go should be Derek Shelton of the Minnesota, who signed with the Minnesota Twins. He was with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Oh, keep that up there. That's fine. And I'll go back to Derek Shelton. This is Craig Albanese who is the new manager of the Baltimore Orioles. He's also from the Tampa Bay club organization. He managed in the Tampa Bay Miners from 2015 to 2019 with an overall record of 145 wins and 83 losses. That gives him a percentage of 6.636. Now he said in on those levels that was the short season A Hudson Valley, and for Class A Bowling Green. Jay, I feel like you're going to ask this question, so I'm just going to answer it, even if you wasn't going to ask it. Short season A is basically kind of defunct, so it's not the 170 games they manage like in the Class A. It's only about 75 games. So that's what short season means for that. He was since 2019 he's been the minor league field coordinator for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's from Fall Rivers, Massachusetts, at 42 years old. And then I said Derek Shelton, who's a well-known manager that was with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's now moving over to coach the Minnesota Twins. He had an overall record of 306 wins and 440 losses with a percentage of .410, 55 years old. Now, he's from Mateo, Louisiana. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. No, he's from Carbondale, Illinois. I got my notes too close together. He's from Carbondale, Illinois. So with these changes, it's kind of interesting, especially with the Orioles. There was conversation about them signing a minor league. You know, the coach they went with last season when they fired the head coach they went with a coach that was part of the minor league team. He was just an assistant with not much coaching experience. And then they went with this minor league coach. Orioles, we're going to see if he can do anything to turn this Orioles team, who was just about 3 years ago, had 100+ wins and had won the division for the first time in years. And now they're starting all over again, it seems like, with a young coach. And it seems like that seems to be the move now, where I'm starting to see more minor league coaches that are being hired for major league spots. And I don't know if they're just trying something new, or maybe it has something to do with having the money to spend on these managers when you spent a lot of money on these players. You know, when you're giving out $700 million for players and $500 million here, $700 million there, how much money do you really have to pay a top-notch manager?
Yeah, and that's crazy, because as a manager, I'm looking like, oh, where are y'all giving out these numbers? I mean, you better not lowball me, player. You better not.
But as a minor league one, it's going to go based on your production, and the minor leagues don't transition over to the majors possibly. And if you're a top major league, say like a Dusty Baker was, or a Bruce Bochy, yeah, you can ask for a little bit of change, you know, because your resume speaks for itself. You know, so I'm gonna wish best of luck to those each one of those managers and their new teams.
Get the bag, Brody. Get the bag.
Speaking of that, going with that, here's a quick video. The AUSL Women's Softball League, which, you know, I talked about as much as well. They just signed a 3-year. They made a 3-year deal with ESPN, where they will be having exclusive games on ESPN and also with ABC. Here's a quick interview with AUSL manager to talk more about that.
Athletes Unlimited Softball League is expanding for 2026 from a 4-team barnstorming model to a 6-team format, with each team having a home city. The league and ESPN also have a new 3-year TV deal. For more about the announcement, we throw it to a special duo for today's Women Crush Wednesday.
What's up, everybody? Christine Williamson here at the ESPNW Summit in Ojai. I miss you guys there in SportsCenter, but not really, because this is a beautiful backdrop for the ESPNW Summit. I'm so excited. As you know, Wednesday is for the girls. It's Women Crush Wednesday, and our Women Crush today is Kim Ng, the commissioner of the AUSL. And you guys had a great inaugural season. Before we get to the announcement that you made today, how was that first season?
The first season was amazing. Everything from MLB announcing that we were their first strategic investment made in women's sports was amazing. And then we launched right into the season where we came up with incredible metrics. We gained almost 500,000 in social followers, 237 million in social impressions. Our championship series was viewed by 230,000 people, and we sold $1 million in merchandise. So it was a great, amazing season. We had 24 sellouts, so we had a great time.
Okay, so let's talk about the announcement that was made earlier today at the ESPNW Summit. What exactly is going on with the AUSL and ESPN?
Yeah, so ESPN and AUSL announced today a multi-year agreement in which ESPN is going to broadcast 50 of AUSL's games per year. So incredibly excited about that. That obviously gives us a national platform. I think it connects, Little League World Series as well as College World Series and now the pro landscape. And just, for all the young girls and women out there to see that there is a path forward in the pro space, I think is really, really important.
You told an amazing story on the stage with Elle Duncan earlier about a young girl that lives in the Czech Republic. Can you just tell us exactly what happened?
Yeah, so we found out from Little League folks when all of the kids came in from obviously this country and from overseas that they did a survey of these little kids. And one of the questions was, what do you want to be when you grow up? And one of the little girls from Czech Republic said, I want to play for the AUSL. So it's, obviously just an anecdote, but I think it's very symbolic of what all of this means and how important it is for us to be out there and visible and have this kind of platform.
Yeah, representation is huge, as we know. When you think about the future of the
Right, Jay.
AUSL, of women's sports in general, what is your hope?
And so you can watch the rest of that video. It is up available on ESPN, on YouTube, and probably on MLB as well as YouTube page where you can find the full video of that. Nice. It's a good deal for them. Glad to see that, as they said, they're expanding to 6 teams now. They're going to slowly move it along. Every team's going to have their own home field. So fans watch baseball, and women's baseball is supported during about that time. So look, I watched a couple games. I didn't get to watch as many as I wanted to, but next season I will be tuning in more.
Yeah. If you haven't had the pleasure and the opportunity of watching women's softball, you don't know what you missing. It's not like no arc ball and they just throwing it up there, and these women are not athletes, okay? These women are supreme athletes, okay? And the way they be doing that pitching, look, move so fast you don't even see the shoulder move. They like, and then when they be at the plate, and then the batter be bang. Yo, listen, they be out there hooping. They be out there balling, yo. I can't wait to go see a live game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not your local rec community area softball.
Yeah, they competitive. They be sliding. Listen, they get dirty. It's a wonderful game, man. Being the fact that I do have a young daughter now, what I'm saying, got my little baby girl. Hopefully we can start going to some baseball games, and that could be a little daddy-daughter thing we do, and she could go, she could go see some self-representation of women being supreme athletes, so she can understand that, baseball might not be your sport that you want to play, but understand there's a lane for you, and no matter what you do, and look at these young ladies be super competitive, and you transcend that into whatever you do, So, yeah, I'm excited. I ain't even gonna hold you up, and I'm glad they got it. They got the deal, and I hope it just gets bigger. It gets bigger and better.
Good shout out to them. Looking forward to the upcoming season next year. Next up, we got flashback videos, and first we're going to start off with one video. We got one regular season video, then we got 2 playoff ones, and just to show how much this first one is a throwback from Jose Guillen from back in the days.
2 pitch. Hit high and deep to right. Back goes Guillen, still going back. At the wall, it's off his glove. There goes Napier around second, headed for third. Look at that throw from right. Wow! What a throw from Guillen from the warning track in the air to third base.
The ball hits him on the shoulder, and he comes up firing. Napier Perez all the way around second, up by about 5 or 6 feet.
Shades of Roberto Clemente in right field. No one.
Yo, your man really blocked the home run, and then just gunned him down, yo. That's wild, yo.
One of the best throws of all time that I've ever seen from the outfield.
For real.
Now we're gonna go with some playoff. See, me being a Yankee fan and still have time to show love to our host. These are 2 playoff cuts. First, we're gonna go with the first one, which is in the playoffs, Mets versus Astros. Darryl Strawberry hitting a game-tying home run.
Darryl.
Strawberry is up facing
Darryl. Darryl.
in the air to right, fast to the wall. It's gone.
Let's go, baby. 86. Amazing. He brought Hojo home.
The score is tied.
Look at that team. Look at that swing. Straight down the line.
Strawberry, victim more often than not against Nepper in his career. In a high fly ball. Out of here. And that error by Reynolds at shortstop haunts the Astros. What do you think about how this inning?
That's just beautiful.
For those who may be wondering, yes, that's a playoff National League. That because I know you see Houston Astros. That was before the Astros moved to the American League about 15 years later. That's when the Astros were still playing in the National League, in the National League Central at that.
Man, this is epic right here.
Now this next one is the Grand Slam that technically never was a Grand Slam, but was still a walk-off.
I like it.
A drive to right, back to Georgia. Gone, a grand slam. What a scene at Shea.
Well, they will not let Robin Ventura run around the bases.
Have you ever seen anything like this? He's got to circle the bases for his grand slam to be official.
Like I said, his run didn't matter. The winning run already came across. So it ended up being a Grand Slam single because he only got to touch first base before the team mobbed him. And that was in the 1999 Division Series Game 5 against the Atlanta Braves.
That's when your man was on the team, right?
Oh, John Rocker?
That's when your man was on the team. Nah, your man that was in LA.
Hershiser or Hershiser?
That's my man Hershey was on the team, right? It always comes back to the Mets. Always. But nah, Nate, all jokes aside, though, I do appreciate those highlights because you know I am a delusional Met fan and I'm going to be a delusional Met fan. Just seeing the first one in 86 in Flushing, because, you know, I literally grew up down the block from Shea Stadium. Right. So just seeing 86 and just seeing all of that definitely brought back memories. Looking at that, I can honestly still remember hearing the scream in the stadium, you know, from the crowd. That's how close I was living in Shea Stadium. When the Mets did something amazing, and they did a lot of amazing things that season, I can hear the roars and the cheers from the crowd, Joe. So that was dope. I appreciate that, you being a Yankee fan, and, you know, as much as I throw the Yankees under the bus and whatnot, and, you know, so I appreciate you, Nate. You're a better man than I am. I mean, just got to give credit where credit's due, my brother.
Most indeed. So that we've come to the end of this show. Unfortunately, this is the part that I hate most, but we've come to the end of this week's show. Jay, you got anything for the people?
Yo, listen. It only took me all season to understand the 5-4-3, you know what I'm saying, and what that was. But I just want to let you know, man, never stop trying, never stop applying yourself, and then one day you're gonna get it. I don't know any other spots. I think pitches number 1, catches number 2, and 3, 4, 5, and that's all I need to know right now, and I'm good with that. And I'm gonna build from there. So yeah, just keep trying, keep applying yourself, keep learning, keep growing. If not, what's the point of being here, yo? What you got for the people, Nate?
Again, World Series, Game 6 tomorrow, Game 7 if necessary on Saturday. Tune in if you ain't doing nothing else. For those who are going to be out there tomorrow for Halloween, it's not a holiday, and I know some people don't celebrate it due to religious beliefs. But whatever you do tomorrow, especially since we know how Halloween can be, just be safe out there.
Yes, be
Also,
safe.
and also want to give a shout out still to our people out there who are currently not working in the government, TSAs, and those who've been furloughed. You know, hoping that this stuff eventually turns out. I know they try to say sports and politics don't match, but they actually do all go together. They've been going together since for a long time. So just hope that you know prayers are out to all of them as they get through that, and those who with SNAP benefits. You know, I'm not going to get in detail about that. We talk more about that on our main show. But just wishing everybody well and safe, safe, and they can take care of their families.
Yes, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant. If anything, this is the time for not division, but for unity. Okay. When it says in the Constitution, we the people, we are the people, we need to come together and support one another. And, it's tough times, but tough people will rise. And that's what America is. We tough, y'all. We strong. So use this time to come together, okay? And just help one another. And let's not be divided, be united. On that note, we want to say thank you to everybody who tapped in, tuned in. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so this way you know about all the upcoming shows and everything that we got going on. After you do that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we appreciate y'all. We out of here, baby. Peace. I ain't even in the show and Nate already gone. See how you do me?